Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today on my channel. My name is Chris with Kristen's Crafts, and today I am bringing you a process video using my February How to Kill a Kit with Style. So as you're aware, my kit is primarily of scraps that I put together for the Baby Scott Scrap Challenge last month, and these are ones that I didn't have a chance to get to, so I'm going to try and make an effort this month and get them on a page. Now, what I love about using scraps is the fact that these are great for those everyday layouts. With this one, I'm using scraps, and they're just pictures of my husband. He was posing for a picture that we sent to his uncle. His uncle had sent him a box of suits and things, and then had also had a custom-made belt made for him with his name on the side. And so he was just taking a photo so that he could send that off to his uncle. And this is one I just want to get into the album. So these scraps did not meet up to make a full 12 by 12. So what I'm doing is cutting a quarter or half an inch off of each side so that I can make a 1/4 inch border going all the way around, and matting it on the white paper. And that way I can use those pieces as full pieces. I'm also going and matting his photo on that little scrap of paper, and I left a little bit of the blue up above, and I'm going to use that for, well, my intent was for the title. It's just going to have a little bit of embellishment up there. Now with my albums and how I do everyday photos, I don't get real tricky with the embellishments. I'm more worried or interested in the having the stories put in there. So I'm not going to over embellish this. This layout took 15 minutes to put together, and now it's a story that will be in the album. And we have since lost his uncle, and so this is something that, even though we don't have a picture of his uncle on here, we have a memory of him getting that gift, and that belt is one of his, I would say, most cherished gifts that he's ever received, and he wears that belt almost daily. So to me, it's important to document where he got it from and the importance of that belt. And it's a good picture of my husband. So I'm taking that little scrap of polka dot paper, and I'm going to go ahead and just layer that in to make it look like a full piece behind the photos. I took that kind of a greenish stripe and I ran that down the side, and now I'm just going to go ahead and finish building off that strip. Now the next thing I'm going to do is take that little dashed paper up above. I'm going to also split that, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a fishtail look. And that just, again, gives it a little bit more interest and another layer that's going to go on the layout. And again, this is super easy. I'm using the scraps pretty much the way they were in my scrap bin, and letting the scraps work for me and not really thinking about it too much. I'm not worried about, following a sketch or anything like that. It's just a matter of getting these papers onto a layout and these pictures into a book. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab out my hashtag sticker books. And, well, first I looked to see if I had any photo corners. I had these sitting on my desk, and I was hoping I had something that was either in a color that would match, and they didn't. So I put those to the side, and now I'm just going to dig through and find my hashtag sticker books. And I pull out 3 of them. I pulled out the Vicky Boutin, Chamel, and then the One Canoe 2, hoping that I would find things that were the color of the paper that I had, but also just something that looked kind of guy related. I wanted more like stars, things like that, that would kind of give it a big boy feel, if you want to go there. So I went through first with the Vicky Boutin, and I ended up using this for the whole layout. And I'm just going to kind of flip through and look for sayings and things that I think I can use. And one of the first things I'm going to find is a journaling spot. And I'm going to go and take that and just put it onto the black paper, or the scrap paper that had that butterfly punch out of it, just to beef it up a little bit. It's got the same color blue in the writing on the tag, And so here you can see, oh, I almost put it on like an index card, and then I switched it out, and I'm like, my whole purpose is using up these scraps, and so I use the scrap to back it on. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off and round off the corners like the tag was. And then I'm just going to journal on there. I'm just going to write in here, Dan was thrilled to receive a box of clothes from Ernie, along with a custom-made belt with his nickname Cow on the side. And then I just put 2016. So again, keeping with that keeping it simple theme, I'm going to just use the word hello as kind of my title. I grab out this a couple of these arrows, and I'm going to point to the journaling. And what else am I going to pull out here? I like using the arrows. To me, those are, again, something that on a guide page, they're pretty easy. I grabbed this heart because I love him and he loved his belt, so I thought that was meaningful. I'm going to grab out the circle that says, it's got a heart on it with the word love in gold. And the next thing I'm going to find is a little word that says happy. I'm going to stick that down below. Oh, and then this little banner that says be thankful. And again, getting a gift of clothing and a belt. He was thankful. And here's where I go ahead and put that little tab that says love, and then the thankful will come into play in a minute. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all these stars, and I'm going to sprinkle the stars around the page. And I'm going to use up the whole row. And that's going to be it for my layout. It's very simple, letting the scraps work for me. They don't need to be over embellished. This was just a candid pictures that we took, but the memory of him getting that gift from his uncle is now documented and will be in the book. And that's all that really matters. You know, we have all these fun little supplies, but don't hinder yourself with not creating because you don't think that you're not putting enough on. Now, if you love to over embellish, go for it. Have fun. Stick all the stickers on that you can. I like leaving it simple and making sure that the story is in the book. And that's what this month is going to be kind of about. It's going to be about going simple and telling the story, and I'm happy with how this turned out. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and make sure you keep an eye out on my channel. I'm hoping to get a few more of these layouts made and into the book this month using my How to Kill a Kit with Style that's all about scraps. Have a great day, and thanks so much for stopping by. Bye-bye.